Hi, this is Simon and welcome to another marvelous video. In the world of comics, the offsprings of superheroes and villains often serve as an effective way of continuing the character's legacy. Some of them have become popular fan favorites, while some have made brief appearances in spin-offs of other major characters. Either way, if the character is fascinating, it leaves a mark in the comics. One such character was Juggernaut's son, Zane Yama, aka J2. He made his first appearance in 1989's What If, issue 105, following which he had one 12-issue series titled J2. Zane is not as powerful as his father, but is certainly a stronger character, earning a name for his heroic deeds. He is not as strong as his father, but at some point he had fought against the Hulk. So without further delay, let us delve into today's video and explore Zane Yama, aka J2. Zane Yama, aka J2 Origins Explored. Zane Yama was from the alternate reality of Earth 982. He was the son of Juggernaut, who in his reality was a reformed hero, and Sachi Yama was the assistant district attorney and raised her child Zane as a single mother. Juggernaut was mostly engaged in missions with the X-Men, for which he could barely stay with his family. Zane's character was created and developed by Tom DeFalco and Ron Frenz, and he was first showcased in What If, Volume 1, Issue 105. The issue revolved around the scenario where Mary Jane and Peter Parker did not lose their baby. This young girl was named Mayday Parker, and she had her superpowers inherited from her dad. When Normie Osborn, the son of Norman Osborn, attacked Peter and his family to seek revenge for his father's death, Peter went around seeking help from the popular super teams. He first went to seek help from the Fantastic Five and then the Avengers. During his visit to the Avengers, J2 was showcased to be a part of the team. It was later revealed that Zane Yama had a rough childhood without his father and was often bullied in school. During an incident with his frequent bully, Miller Hallandale, Zane Yama discovered the powers that he inherited from his father. It was showcased in 1998's J2, issue 1, which elaborated the origin story of J2. The issue, written by Tom DeFalco, begins with a young kid named Zane struggling with his nightmares. His nightmares were all about a gigantic, unstoppable monster in the shape of a juggernaut chasing him. When he addressed his dreams to his mother, she reassured him that his father, Kane Marco, would not be returning anytime soon. Zane narrates his story, explaining that since his father left them, his mother reverted to her maiden name, Yama, for which his full name was Zane Yama instead of Zane Marco. Zane's struggles as a teenager are pretty similar to Peter Parker's. He was a loner, lacked the courage to talk to a girl, was known for being the smart kid in class, and often got bullied by his peers. He tried to impress a girl named Talia Zamora by discussing math, which failed miserably. Curtis and Miller made great fun of Zane, but only got shouted at by the enigmatic, tomboyish Montana. This was enough to trigger Miller, who sought to take revenge on Zane, believing him to be the root of it. He first grabbed Zane and took him to the locker room to threaten him, and later, when school was over, he chased him throughout the school. While hiding from Miller, Zane developed a massive headache and suddenly transformed into a hulking man. Perplexed by everything, the newly transformed Zane ran naked through the entire school, and while leaving, he crushed Miller's motorcycle. Later, he was shown to be hiding in an alley, where, after becoming calm, he reverted to his former state. Needless to mention that Zane had inherited his father's powers. However, it is not precisely the same. Juggernaut received his powers from the mystical Ruby of Saitorak, which transformed him and provided him with enchanted armor, while in the case of J2, his powers were connected to his emotions, and no armor was associated with it. Zane later designed his armor like that of his father, and was quite popular amongst the superheroes. He was offered membership from the A-Next, consisting of children of other popular heroes, Uncanny X-People, led by an older Jubilee, and Magneto for a team of villains. He let all of them down, but offered to assist at times if they needed it. Later, at some point, J2 learned from Cyclops that the main reason for his father's disappearance was his capture by a villain named Nemesis from an alternate dimension. Following this, J2, Sorcerer Supreme, and Doc Maskus located Juggernaut and rescued him. Soon after his return, Juggernaut announced his retirement and was happy with Zane for carrying out his legacy. Marvelous story arcs for J2. The A-Team. J2 later appeared in a spin-off series for What If, issue 105, titled A-Next. The comic series revolved around the super team from Earth 982, called A-Next. The team consisted of the children of popular superheroes, mainly the Avengers, and at some point had J2 as their member. A-Next was a 12-issue comic book series written by Tom DeFalco and was released from October 1998 to September 1999. The story begins with Kevin Masterson, aka Thunderstrike, Zane Yama, Cassandra Lang, aka The Stinger, Robert Baldwin, aka Speedball, Mainframe, Kevin Masterson, aka Thunderstrike, Helena Takahama, aka Jolt, and Jubilation Lee on Asgard, fighting some Denzians. Kevin then narrates the incidents which led to the superheroes uniting as a team. The story goes into a flashback several hours ago, with Kevin showing up at the Avengers mansion at the request of the mansion's chief of staff, Edwin Jarvis. The Avengers had previously disassembled, and the Maria Stark Foundation currently managed the mansion. Jarvis handed Kevin the weapon Thunderstrike, which his now deceased father, Eric Masterson, had wielded during his days as an Avenger. As Kevin was about to leave the mansion, a few trollmen arrived and attacked him. Since it happened within the premises of the mansion, Jarvin activated the Avengers beacon. The signal was first received by Jubilation Lee, the leader of the X-People, followed by Jolt, the daughter of Scott Lang, who also received the signal on her Wasp antenna and responded. While Kevin was running away from the trollmen, he caught the attention of Speedball and J2, and they too decided to extend their help. When Kevin was concerned, a mechanical Iron Man Mainframe arrived and saved him. The rest of the heroes who had received the signal also arrived to help, and while they almost managed to overpower the trollmen, Loki arrived and subdued them. He captured everyone in shackles and took them down to Asgard, stating his purpose of recharging the weapon Thunderstrike and using it against Thor. Kevin, in an attempt to free himself, leaped to get the floating mace, and after fusing with it, he grew powerful and helped to free the rest of the superheroes. While they struggled against Loki, Kevin sent a beacon, making Loki call for retreat. It was a beacon for Thor, whose arrival scared the god of mischief. Following the victory, the team arrived on Earth, and Mainframe quickly raised the subject of recreating the Avengers. While J2, Thunderstrike, and Stinger agreed, Speedball, Jubilee, and Jolt declined for personal reasons. J2 was thus one of the founding members of the team, which became known to the world as A-Next, and eventually became a reliable superhero. In the third issue of the comic series, J2 faced one of the biggest challenges, the Hulk from Earth 982, and he was not just strong but also intelligent. He was a member of the Defenders, along with Doctor Strange and Namor. The issue elaborates on a clash between Doctor Strange and Doc Magus. While Strange arranges his team of Defenders, Magus sought help from the A-Next. During their confrontation, Hulk and J2 fought. Initially, J2 thought that he could take down the Hulk easily, but after Namor and Hulk tore Mainframe into two pieces, J2 was too scared to participate in the battle. As he tried to escape, Mainframe, in new vigor, confronted him and stated that he was a robot. Following, J2 faced Hulk again. However, the battle ended after Magus learnt that the true intention of Doctor Strange was to give the newly formed an opportunity to test themselves. J2 rescues Juggernaut. In the 7th issue of the J2 comic, we witness the events that led to Juggernaut's disappearance. His mother, Sachiyama, raised Zane without his father, Cain Marko. All this while they believed Cain was involved in a mission with the X-Men, which was not true. Cain was held captive by Nemesis. The issue begins with a training session where Cyclops and J2 confront each other. J2 blocked the optic blast from Cyclops while accepting his admiration for him. After the session, the two get along quite well, and Cyclops begins narrating the stories of Cain Marko. He explained how Cain got his powers and how he transformed from being a mercenary to a member of the X-Men. He continued stating about one of their missions to the very crossroads of infinity. While trying for their interdimensional jump jack to their reality, mysterious entities attacked them. They feared that the mysterious demon-like beings might use the jump jack to arrive on Earth. To stop this from happening, Juggernaut decided to stay back and hold the aliens while the rest of the teams used the portal to return home. Juggernaut was captured by a nightmare creature named Nemesis, who held him captive in a small pocket dimension. It was then revealed that Nemesis wanted to extract Juggernaut's powers for himself, but certain miscalculations led to Zane obtaining those powers. With the help of Doctor Strange, Namor, and the Hulk, Zane later managed to defeat Nemesis and rescue his father, Cain Marko. What makes J2 so powerful? Although there are minute differences in the power levels of J2 and his father, Juggernaut, the primary aspect of their power, are strength and durability. Unlike his father, J2 could exist in his normal form and transform into a hulking man as well. From a normal-sized teenager, Zane could transform into a 17 inches tall man with 665 pounds of muscle and bone tissue. It also gave superhuman strength of undefined limits, using which he could easily lift a minimum weight weight of 75 tons. He, however, faced difficulties lifting more than 100 tons. J2 also possessed superhuman stamina, as his muscles produce fewer fatigue toxins. In his peak form, he goes on for hours. His superhuman durability protected him from concussive forces, energy blasts, and high-caliber bullets, along with extreme temperature and pressure. J2 was also an excellent hand-to-hand combatant and showcased his brilliance against the Hulk. However, J2's costume was designed and made by him. It looked similar to that of his father's, but in silver. The helmet he wore protected him against telepathic powers. Marvelous verdict. So finally, we've come to the end of our video, and we hope the content served well. Although there has not been much talk of J2 lately, the character is quite an interesting one, and if you notice carefully, his powers and transformation are based on his emotions, something which we have all seen already in the Hulk. Not just J2, but the entire reality of Earth 982 could serve well if brought back in stories of Marvel's Prime Universe. And if you liked our content, well, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.